How are you?
You know how these trips work, right?
Little bit stool.
To put your feet on?
Yeah, because I was saying.
It is, it's for you guys.
Shut off the circulation in your day.
Yeah, that's like.
Not doing it.
Gosh, it's
It's a little chilly.
It's been cold all
I
night.
just went to the bathroom and it's about 95 in there. I'm not sure why, but I opened the door because we need it out here.
Not
Hours
to be
and hours out.
invited
I know, I
to.
said that I would.
But they're redoing that whole, they're putting in that whole telephone.
Oh, yeah, okay.
From their link.
So what can we do?
So
to
glad
get
it's
around
on
some of the
Three warrants into the other side.
Yeah, like-
And I showed her, no, I was really glad you did. I just felt badly like.
So was it a funny shut off? I mean,
I'm just.
Yeah, but there's been really around.
I said, we were here and
Yeah.
the whole staff, they said.
There's still so
So
many
I
things.
said, oh, I can't wait for you. I'll get it all. So I have
Grandkids.
two
Well, I think
more
it's hard.
babies
when
coming.
you
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
so Christmas Day, we have a deal with Raven Canada, so they're having a little girl now, they have the son already. They're super excited, and Bertram's all excited. And then
They
our
don't
gift
actually
was.
school board appreciation.
Interested.
They just happened to coincide
Whatever.
with how much we appreciate you.
Your mouth, your dreams.
I didn't even think of that.
You should have.
July.
So we have to present you.
Well, each have one of each.
Yeah.
We
I know
should.
Cleo is so upset that she's
I
gonna
don't
have
think we
another,
presented
like,
to
she's
you.
great, she's like just crying.
Till next
so
week.
excited.
You have no idea how hard your life's gonna get. I think it's all next week.
She's like, I want another
Yeah, I think
water,
it's-
and then.
Or you can do, you can.
Well, I'm glad that you were thinking.
Last year we changed it to just shorten it into two instead.
Not to say I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm so excited to get 4 grandbabies.
Your babies.
New babies, it's just super exciting. I got that.
So if you got that right now, text me. Fabulous, appreciate it. Plus our community is larger than anything that we're around the entire state. Have you seen maybe the entire West Coast?
I brought my puppy over here and I went just.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did you do yours in Denver
Yeah.
last year?
She's doing good. She's like a lot of energy right now. It's good.
Are you able to
She
send
was
us?
just like,
Okay, reports are on the street.
Okay, I'm sure it's.
Okay.
You did?
You may have, but
that's so last year.
that was.
I like that world.
I've had a lot of life in the last, yeah, it's
I've had,
been.
I was working, I've had.
She was probably the email when I was like, great.
Yeah,
Okay, yes,
so
sir.
I can, I'll do a search, and if I can't find it, I'll reach out.
One of the smartest.
Okay, I'll do under.
You stopped feeding?
I did.
All right, life feed's going. 6:30, coming to order. So we'll start with number 1, public comment.
Okay, so if you are not aware, this month is School Board Appreciation Month. And you are all very much appreciated. And we have some parents and some students who came tonight to kind of share what they think about our school with you. So,
You want to start? My name's Brittany. My son Caden went to school here, Caden King, and it's actually really interesting because some of you I've known from the Fernridge School District, and it's really good to see your guys' faces. I'm glad that you're still in education and teaching, so I'm like even more excited about Wesleyan Tech. Where my son was at previously, it wasn't a good fit for him. And this school has been a godsend, like really. The staff here is incredible. The student to teacher ratio and getting kids on the right track that maybe struggle academically or even with their personal lives or home lives or whatever. Like, these teachers like show that they care a lot. And Andrea Milbritt was the first person I talked to coming here to the school district, or school, I guess. And CJ Myers was just amazing with constant, I mean, all the staff, constant communication. This is where your son is at. This is what he's doing. This is where he's struggling. This is what we're working on. This is, I mean, I never got that anywhere else, like with any of my kids. And we've lived in North Carolina and Oregon. And so that kind of speaks volumes of what you guys are doing here. He actually finished school 6 months early. That's huge. I mean, he's somebody that's always struggled academically, and some of you guys probably remember Caden. So thank you so much. I mean, and Darcy too, like many a conversation. And teens are exceptional people, and they come with their special challenges and uniqueness about them. And Darcy is great at holding that line, but also allowing grace too. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
And then we've got Jordan, who is a current student with us. Hi, Jordan.
I'm Jordan. I'm a current student here. I was previously enrolled in Elmira. I was doing their online program called Options. That was really tough on me. I fell very far behind to the point where I was not on track to graduate by any means. So I went to the district and I tried to get released the first time. They wouldn't release me. I put in an appeal. They wouldn't release me again. So I was kind of stuck there in a very mid-ground. So I finally kind of found a way out. We decided to come and talk to Darcy and the school district here. I was behind by, I think, 12 and a half credits. So way off. And I think I'm on track now, and I think I'm at about 3.5 to 3 credits left. And that's just starting this year. Like, this is my first year here. So I caught up very fast, and it was very easy, and the teachers have been great. They've given me a lot of grace. I do work almost full time. So that's rough on me too with my schedule in school. Sometimes if I get behind or I don't finish the classes on time, they will unlock them again and let me finish them, which has been great. My other school, they kind of just gave up on me. They didn't let me continue the classes, try and finish them, give me grace in that sense, like she was saying. They've been great here. They've treated me with a lot of respect, whereas the other school did not as much. They just kind of threw me in the dust. I knew nothing about counselors. I knew nothing of where I was at. They weren't talking to my parents at all. My parents didn't know where I was. But here they get constant reminders. We get constant emails. The teachers have been great to talk to. The communication is great between them. The texting, emailing, all of that is super straightforward. So it's just been a great path coming to this school. So I'm really hoping I can finish on time or early if I can. But as you know, I was not on track by any means. So coming here has been amazing for me, and I would strongly recommend it to any student who is struggling at any point.
So Jordan, one thing I want you to hear from the board is you're valuable, and we look forward to your greatness in the future.
And happy birthday.
Thank you.
And one last, Chanda Mills.
I'm Chanda. I have a Brinley in Bizarre. Sorry. She's doing so amazing. We had an incident where, thank you. She was struggling so much in Elmira, and my husband and I of 30 years are separated. She couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle it, obviously. And coming here, she is just her attitude, her anxiety. I mean, she was in a counselor every week. She's on meds. She was a hot mess, and she's not doing counseling. She's not on her meds. She's just doing amazing. And I, from the bottom of my heart, cannot thank you guys enough to have my daughter back and have her mentally just there. This has been an absolute life-changing thing for us. And it's like, I cannot, I'm so sorry. I cannot believe the difference between how she was failing and how good she's doing. And like they said, the communication with you guys and I got a text that she's like, has a D, and I'm like, what is going on? I mean, she's not an A student, but she's not a D student. And so it's just like the communication is on point. It's just, and the rule in my house is if your work's not done, you're going in person. Where when I was 95%, we are not doing this online school at all. We are not doing this. I did COVID. I sat there with her. I'm not a teacher. And she and I like hated each other, and this is, I don't have to, if I even try and help her, she's like, no, get out of here. Where before it was like, help me, read this to me, do this. And so anyway, blah, blah, blah. It is a night and day difference, and she's doing amazing because of you guys.
And because of you.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Let's give credit where credit's due.
Yeah, right here.
No. We just thank you for letting us serve your child, but you need to take credit too. That's
No, she's
awesome.
awesome. And I always thought this was like a bad kid's school, and it's not. Being Mason my hair, so we know it's a good. We know it's a good kid's school. Okay.
Thank you all
Of
for
course,
coming.
yes.
And you are welcome to stay, and you are welcome to go.
We appreciate it.
Yeah.
I
appreciate your words.
Yeah.
And your daughter.
Well, that's our
Thank
why.
you guys.
Yeah.
We
So
want
that-
to invite families in to, we talk about the kids at every board meeting, and we try to explain what's happening, and it's kind of nice to see the perspective of the families that we're serving.
And we appreciate you as a board so that we can do this for kids.
Yeah,
It's
don't
just-
leave, don't disband, stay here, don't move locations, don't do anything, like, unless it's still Benita, that's fine.
You know, and
Okay, good.
I so appreciate you guys taking time out of your busy schedules, because we all have life to come and talk to us. And, you know, I love hearing it. We all appreciate it. But if you're willing, I know a school up north that would love to hear your perspective too on how well this school does and your experience with us here and the successes. Because that's what we care about, is your success. And as long as we're doing that, life is good.
And you guys are so accommodating. I've been to every board meeting over here, and it's just like, you're just falling on deaf ears. And if you say something here, it's like, you know what, we'll take care of it. It's so nice.
I will say the nicest thing about coming here for me is my parents weren't very thrilled with my school. They weren't very happy with my grades. I was not doing great. I mean, I'm not an A+ student, and I'm not usually a D student on mid-ground season Bs. I tried. I was going to go to that school, so I wanted to come here and try and rush myself. And I was going to try and push myself, and I realized that everyone here is so willing to help you with just like a snap of your finger. Everyone's there, and it's great. It's a great, system for everyone. Any kid that's struggling, any person like that, and me catching up like that, I mean, that was quite literally a miracle, because I was like, I'm gonna have to go through summer school. I'm gonna be a super senior. Like, I'm gonna just be super far behind from everyone else that I know, and it's kind of sucky. But after coming here and catching up so fast, it was also the realization of, oh, I can do it, and I don't have to rush. I can take my time. I can make my grades good. I don't have to rush. I don't have to make myself feel like crap because I'm so far behind. You can't catch up. And I think kids, Students also don't realize that some teachers are not a good support system. Some teachers are not the teachers at Elmira. I was at Elmira High School and they were very angry. They did not help me. They did not give me tools to help fix my, grades and my GPA and stuff like that. But coming here, Darcy and everyone up front, especially, I sat down with them for my orientation, basically, and they explained everything and how I could get it all back within a very short amount of time and in a very efficient amount of time. And it was amazing. And I, again, would recommend any student struggling coming here.
Absolutely. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
very much.
Yeah.
And if you need somebody up north at a school, I can't say enough good things.
I'll do better next time.
You did awesome.
Perfect.
Perfect.
You were great. Thank
Great.
you. Thank you, you guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you again for
Thank you,
coming.
guys.
Feel free to stay. Feel free to go.
Happy birthday, Jordan.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
I don't have any complaints, so I'm leaving.
So thanks for taking the time to come in.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Let's move on to number 2, administrative reports.
Well, Chairman, I just said, so we don't often have other folks here to take in our board meetings.
Yeah.
Are there,
Yeah,
they're
go ahead.
probably not signed up for public comments, but.
No, if you want
entertain
anything. No.
Observance. Get that information.
Awesome.
Thank you for coming.
Perfect. Thank you. So let's go. Number 2, administrative reports. A, minutes. B, financials. And C, enrollment.
On the back of your purple sheet, there is an update on students and what districts they're coming from that are currently enrolled.
Nice.
Yeah, it's kind of fun to see. It's fairly consistent, but. I think we're currently have 93 kids enrolled as of today.
Okay.
It kind of goes up and down, as you guys know.
Sean, I just wanted, anybody that does minutes, I give huge credits. I had to do minutes once. And I hated trying to do minutes right. But on the minutes from last month's meeting, under D, review audit report, is that, it seems like that we've included the items above that in that little narrative. So under the audit report, it talks about policy updates and changes, and then there's a motion, and then we talked about review of the audit report. Should those have been 2 separate items? Am I making any sense?
You are. I'm just trying to think of how. Yeah, I should have put it above D. You're right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can update that
Yep, no problem. Great,
and
thank you.
repost it.
Lincoln County.
Yeah, it's Lincoln City.
Lincoln City.
I think Tillamook is actually where the student is.
Yeah, we had,
From-
as far as, I didn't have a contact, I had to call the school district and get a contact because we had never had students from there, so it's exciting. Yeah.
It's rare that we have them from that far away.
Right.
No kidding.
Newport. Newport area.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
Lincoln County is
Yeah,
Newport.
Newport. Mhm.
It's Newport or Lincoln City?
I think he's.
Well, it's Lincoln
If
County
it's
School
Lincoln County,
District,
it's gonna be Newport
but it's
area.
Newport area.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the boundaries were because I was like trying to figure
It's
out,
okay.
based off of his
Yeah.
address, what
Yeah,
school district, and
Absolutely.
Lincoln County's all one big school
Okay.
district, so.
occasionally, but not very
Awesome.
often are they
Yeah.
that far away.
Be interesting to see how they heard of us.
Well, I know how they heard of it. No, it's not a bad thing. I'm afraid confidentiality wise, I
Sure,
shouldn't
no, makes
share.
sense. No, I'm just saying it's cool that we're
But
out
yeah,
there.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, I would go ahead and make that motion to go ahead and approve the administrative reports, including that modification to the December 18th minutes, and then the financial
I'll second that. Very good.
Got a motion, got a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Did you second it? I did. You two too.
Race.
One for Susan.
Let's see, number 3, old business. Nothing on old. Number 4, new business. A, policy update, second reading, GBA, GBN, sexual harassment. And B, policy deletion.
So the policy deletion, as I was going through our book, I might be bringing some more of those to you, but
It's funny to see that still in there.
I don't know where these policies came from. They were pre-me, but the code is WLT, which isn't really a code. So I'm not sure if at one time before we were using OSBA policies that some of these were created, but I'm recommending we delete this one because it does not match our bylaws. It talks about board membership and the number, and so I don't think a policy is needed because it is in our bylaws and that is policy itself. So I'm gonna go through and look at some of those others for future meetings that might need to be cleaned up out of there.
So Darcy, you're reading all of them?
Yeah, not on purpose, but yeah.
We definitely don't pay you enough.
It was kind of an accident, but yes. As I was putting in our updated new ones, where did this WLT come from? So those, now that they're never going to come from OSBA to be a recommended deletion because they don't know they exist. So I'm going to go through those.
Down the road.
Clean those.
So
Yeah,
that's
well,
the only one you need a motion
That's the
on.
only
for tonight,
motion.
yeah. Well,
And we need to make
we
a
need
motion.
to make a motion on the second reading of JPA.
And so as you go through policies, when you find these, you're gonna bring. them.
Yes, yeah, I won't just toss them.
Yeah.
I'll make sure you
Yeah,
know
no, that
that
makes
they're.
sense. Yeah, no, it's just.
Well, I would go ahead and make a motion to go ahead and approve the updated policy related to sexual harassment. Give out
The alphabet.
the alphabet. Is there? But I will make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Passes 6.
How often do you have to review policies? Is there any kind of standard?
Usually when OSBA sends them to us.
That's when you review.
And so they update them, a lot of times around legislative sessions and when different laws are passing, and then they go clean up all of that. So we watch, because we subscribe to that, we watch their website pretty regularly to see when they make updates.
Let's move on. Number
Well, I
5.
think we need another board action. To go ahead and remove
Oh,
policy
yeah, I'm sorry.
WLT
Yep.
301.
Are you making that motion?
That's a motion, yes.
Okay, I'll second it.
Motion second. All in favor? Aye. Thanks, Rick, for keeping me on that.
That's all right.
Well, we go to 5, director's report.
Director's report. So we are in the process and heavily in the process now of setting up our mid-year conferences with students, which we make mandatory with students and parents. They don't have to be here in person. We'll do them virtually if that fits better. And there's kind of that list there of all of the things we go through, but progress, how they're doing, attendance, things like that. We do our needs survey or needs assessment at that time, which is an online survey just that we're required to do annually, but I would think we would do annually anyway. Just great information of what are families missing, what do they need more of, what do they want, and it's anonymous, so they can feel free to be really honest about it. And we do it through a Google survey, so we don't know who's telling us what, but we get that feedback, and we use that in setting our goals and our integrated guidance grant and high school success grant, so that kind of stuff. We have our kids take their second round of MAPS testing, and we're going to try to include the student equity survey this year. We'll see how that works. They may do that at a different time. I'm not sure if I can fit it into the conference or not, but it's it's required for 9th, 10th, and 11th graders. So if it works in that, we'll do it. Otherwise, I will set it up
But
separately.
they can voluntarily opt out.
Yes,
Right.
yes, yeah. And so there's a form that will be sent home to all students where they can opt out of that, and the juniors can opt out of the state testing if they choose. And historically, the majority of our kids choose to opt out. Next Tuesday night, if you're bored, we're having an open house from 4 to 6, and we try to do 2 a year. We do one in the fall before school starts, and then one right before second semester. Just opening the doors for people to stop by and peek in here. It's kind of fun this time of year because everybody wants to know what's behind that mirrored glass. And so we make sure the doors are open and they walk by and peek in, and we invite them in. We've got some flyers we're posting around town. We've advertised on social media. So hopefully it's every time we've done it, we've gotten at least one student out of it. So it's worth the time.
When is that?
Next Tuesday.
Did you send that information to the chamber?
I don't
Did you
think,
get that out?
okay, I will do that.
Well, I think all the improvements that have been done with the signage and everything.
Yeah.
Just God help with that so much.
We talked about it as a staff, our numbers are really good this year and everybody was in support of, we still want to do it. We just want to keep spreading the word. I will say with our numbers being good, we do ask now. And one of the 2 biggest ways people are hearing about us, word of mouth and our radio ad. So our advertising is definitely paying for itself.
I smile every time.
Me too. Every time. I love it.
Top of mind.
The one with Nick talking is probably my favorite one of them, just because he does a good job. So, and then we end first semester at the end of the month. So we're really doing that, like they talked about, that communication of, hey, you're not on track, you're running behind, you're running out of time, and talking with kids and parents to hopefully get them to finish up on time.
We had 2 students pass their GED.
Yes, this week.
Oh, nice.
This week we had
Right
2
on.
more. So, and that the numbers in that program kind of dipped down just a little bit, and now we're back to capacity. So it filled right back up.
Yeah, we
What's the next one?
12, which is 10% of our overall enrollment, and really all we can handle support-wise at this time. And we might look at changing that next year, but for our first year, it seems to be working. Put kids on a waiting list, and on the waiting list, they're working on those core classes, still earning credits. So it's not a waste of time for them. They're not just sitting there twiddling their thumbs; they're still working.
Have you had any kids on that kind of wait list decide to just stay enrolled and not do?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's cool. That's
We
what I was
have.
gonna ask.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
And even if they pass the GED, they can continue.
continue.
They can continue and get their.
Nice.
We haven't had anybody decide
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure how that would look, but
Well, I could just envision a kid coming in and going, I'm just gonna get a GED.
Yeah.
And then not thinking they had a chance to graduate high school and get involved in the program. And they go, no, wait, I can do this.
Yeah.
Like, this is, I got a
Like-
path.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Jordan.
I got a path, right? Like,
Yep.
yeah.
12, 13 credits behind.
because our preference would always be the standard diploma.
Sure.
If there's
Sure.
a possibility for
Yeah.
that and a desire.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
I like that.
I have a question for you. We're saying that the conferences are mandatory, so do you have people who don't?
We do, and we just try our best to connect with them in some way or another. And then if we don't, we just send home a letter with the communication that we would say in person. But we get, I would say, about 75% of our parents that we meet with, either virtually or in person.
That's still a great percentage.
It's a huge
And
percentage,
the
yeah.
Parents are still getting the information
Yeah.
if it's being mailed to them or emailed to them.
And just,
I was just
you
curious.
can only
what that
do
looks like.
so much sometimes. And there's no negative to the student if it doesn't happen, but the whole point is communication, so. And that usually is the counselor, their advisor, Andrea for sure, because she's helping with scheduling. And then there's a good percentage that I will sit in on too, depending on the student and the need.
I guess on top of that, I don't know if this falls under your director's report or your other, but I'm so excited to hear the testimonials. It's just so moving. Of course, we know what a great job, but the other things that we, getting access to the district's clothing store. I mean, that's been huge. Trying to pursue the washer and dryer. I know that's gonna be tough in this building.
We're still working on it. It's just not a fast process.
Yeah, no, well, if you gotta be punching holes where things can drain, and let go, it's gotta get kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know, somebody was gonna reach out to Crow and the construction crew, or?
Yeah, and we have not done that yet. We looked into it, just haven't done it yet.
I mean, may not really fit with what they're capable of doing,
Mhm.
not very well. but,
Yeah, we did. They do have the program and we looked into it. We just haven't reached out yet. Still working on some grants and different things.
Yeah, but it's just so wonderful that you are working together as a team to remove barriers that keep students from being successful. And, even having a laundry facility here is huge for those students who, so.
It will happen. I just don't know how fast, but it will happen. I will make it happen.
We got it. I happened to be able to sit in on a city council meeting the other night, and Elmira High School came forward with a request for graduation funds to do the senior party and whatnot. I mean, would our graduating seniors be, of course, it's extra work for staff, but
I don't know.
would they, I mean,
We could ask them. They're so spread out
Yeah.
and they don't really
We
know
hold
each
holiday
other.
parties here, and we have maybe 10 kids show up. I would imagine if we held a party like that, it would be about the same, maybe 10 kids. Because a lot of, as you see from the attendance, we got a lot of kids out of Bethel, and we have kids from all over, so it does make it more difficult.
They don't have
And I
that
think that they're
same
online
social
for a reason
connection.
sometimes too. They don't have that social connection with the other kids. So
well, that's part of why I was thinking about it. How do you help try to bring
Yeah,
kids
and that's why we
normalize
Yes.
what a senior
and that's
graduation
why
is
we
about?
try to do like our monthly either field trip or party or our Thursday game afternoons, just to
Tuesday talks.
to
The Tuesday talks and all that.
promote that social interaction and put it out there. It's typically the same 10 kids. Once in a while, a different kid will
Tuesday
show
talks
up.
will draw in some other kids. It's kind
Yeah.
of fun because
Nice.
we'll talk about like
Yeah,
current issues in the world, and they want to come in and participate.
we had 2 kids here on a Tuesday one day that didn't know we did the Tuesday talk, and man, they got sucked in and they were so excited and they had a great time. So
Yeah.
hopefully they'll be back.
So
But yeah,
maybe after graduation, they could do something here,
Yeah,
like a big pizza, maybe bring in some music or something. Just
we
for-
can ask them.
Would that be inviting their parents, or what does that look like? I mean, just-
Family, because
Just trying to normalize that more.
they're usually brought here by family,
Mm-hmm.
then you have a big pizza party and music or something.
Or do we do it wherever we hold graduation?
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
You know what
it's
I'm
a
saying?
great-
Instead of like,
Well, we're next
instead
door,
of
so it's-
here, you know what I
I
mean?
know, I
Yeah.
wish, but
But now it's gonna be
in town.
Or
in
we
tech.
can't have food and drink in the actual room we're renting.
What room is that?
The Irving
Irving
Grange.
Grange.
Oh,
Yeah. So it's a really neat place, and we thought because we have a lot of
I
people
just got-
meeting kids that are in the GED program or graduating this year. But they do not allow food and drink, and it's carpeted.
Oh,
They do allow it outside, and if the weather participates, we could potentially set up tables
Yeah.
and do an outside parade.
So we'll survey the seniors and see what they think, if
I
they
don't
would
want
be
to ask the
interested.
staff to be taken on more, but
Or-
just
Yeah.
think
or
about.
just, if it's over early, we can go down to Adams River Road. and have
Mhm.
pizza. Right, there's side
Yeah.
of the room.
We'll see what they say, if they would be interested.
Well, it brings them together at the end.
Well, I think we talked about word of mouth and kids telling other kids about, not just did I go and finally be able to graduate, but. there's-
Right, but they
It's
also
social.
did this fun social, yeah.
anything else on the director?
I can't think of anything else. I'm knee deep in state testing preparation.
Fun times.
Well, if you don't mind, I have 2 things under other.
Absolutely.
So, Shauna, when we complete our vector training, Do you want us to print off the certificates and bring them in?
No, I have them.
You
So,
have them?
Yep, I have the master overview, so I can pull those certificates, so I have them. So thank you. I have 2 missing. I'm trying to remember who has it.
Mine's
Stacy?
missing. Mine's missing.
No, yours
Did
is done.
Yes.
Should
Lead
be
by,
bad.
lead
Thank
by,
you,
lead by
Kat.
example.
I'll email those 2 people. I did send a reminder email through the Vector portal to remind those 2 people that you haven't completed it. Okay. So
I did one, but I was on that day.
I thought you didn't.
My
have-
computer.
Oh, okay.
is-
I
it's
haven't
so
looked at it
different.
since I sent the reminder email.
I did.
And then did I send an email
It's
about
not
the public
sexual
meeting
harassment.
law? Did I? Oh,
I think you did.
I thought I did, but I will.
I'll have to look. It's
Didn't I send the public meeting law email?
Yeah.
Okay. I
Did
thought
you
I
send it
did.
to the West Lane?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
just to Westline or to both?
I think just to West.
Because I always send it to
That's
both.
why
I
I
never
do.
know
Me
who's
too.
gonna check.
I can do it to both.
Yeah,
I can do it.
Don't
to
have
both.
this in like.
I just scheduled mine and they're booking a month out, just FYI, for that public meeting.
And there's no
Okay.
time frame, it's just once during your term that you're required to do it. I did it last week. Most of it's just like common
Okay.
sense type
We have another
stuff,
test, is
but-
that what you're saying?
It's a
There
training for public training.
And it's a live training and they make sure you're there till the very end, the whole 150 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, it's not short and it's interactive and you have to pay attention. You can't just turn it on and walk away.
It's not a
on
vector
Zoom?
training module.
Yes,
What?
yes. And that was a new, that's a new thing passed in the legislature that
And it's
people-
for all public, so like,
Yes.
I'm on the library budget.
So you have-
I
But
have to
you,
do
but
it.
you
gotta
only
do
have
twice.
to do it once.
Your whole life
You just
or
make-
once a year?
It says once during your term of service.
Yeah.
So you print your certificate
yeah.
twice and
There
you've
you
met
go.
that.
Yeah, I knew it because we got that notification. They said it was, at the time, when they told us, they were like, it's coming. We don't have any information about it yet, but you're gonna get some information from us about it. So now that was like last week.
So that's even nonprofits, everybody.
Everybody.
Oh,
That's fun.
oh no, it's not.
And they were very clear, you cannot record this meeting because they don't want you, I don't know why they don't want you sharing it. It's public meeting law. So it's, I mean, it's not secret information, it's the law. But
Hello.
And I guess the other issue, I saw the recap of Governor Kotek's
mhm.
comments about education and trying to up the budget, but all the extra lines about trying to create a higher level of accountability. And
Yeah,
what's your interpretation of those
I'm
comments?
I don't know yet.
That's
I
her-
mean, I like her proposed budget numbers look
Yeah,
good.
oh,
I
that'd
mean,
be
that
awesome.
11% increase
Yeah.
is nice. But the accountability and how that works is,
Especially at the virtual
Yeah.
charter school. Hopefully that she's got people that are mindful about. It's not
I'm
just one
really
cookie
hoping
cutter
that in the legislative session, there's some conversation about charter schools and accountability. And we're different for a reason. And so still having to check all those same boxes in all those same ways doesn't make sense.
people get
Not that
caught
we
up.
should lower our standards, but the way that they are, it's
It's a
different.
different metric.
But if you're just holding us to attendance or graduation rates,
It's, yeah.
Yeah, it's too bad that you can't break loose of that, or we can't.
I wish.
I'm gonna work on that we stuff.
I know that it's something that charter schools lobby for pretty hard
Yeah.
and virtuals,
Yeah.
but just all charter schools in general we're meant to be an alternative and therefore
Yeah.
the metric should be alternative.
It should be applicable to
Yeah.
what we are.
Yeah. But I'm hopeful with her proposed budget. But again, you put in those accountability standards and who's gonna monitor, who's gonna check them, and there's not staffing at the state level to do that, so I don't know. Mhm.
So I have a question. Are you done?
Yeah, I had to bite my tongue, and there was some Republican senator who just immediately came out and just bashed her on every little thing she said. Whereas for the most part, it's like, you know, Do we all want to see education increase? Funding, that's kind of a no-brainer. Should there be higher level of accountability if it works for everybody, or just sometimes? Some say.
So I was kind of wondering, I had the same issue when I was on the other board, is can we get the minutes closer to when we had the meeting so that, I don't need the packet necessarily, because I know that's not gonna happen and it's not necessary, but in order for me to check the board minutes from the previous meeting, it would be fresher in my mind if I got it closer to when that meeting happened. Is there a possibility?
Yeah, I try to send the meeting minutes out to Stacy first and give her a chance to respond. And then I send
Is
them
that what
out.
I'm supposed to do?
I mean, you're supposed to check them.
It
You're
went
the-
to everybody. Say no more. Now I know where it's going. Thank you.
Don't leave.
And this is what I get for showing up late.
So I send them to you, you review them, and then if you have any comments or suggestions or something that you see an error, you let me know.
All right.
So then I can update it, and then I send it to the board. And then once the board's received it, I'll give it like a day, and then I send it to the chamber, or minutes don't go to chamber, but I send it to Fern Ridge.
Okay.
And then I update the website last.
Okay. So when Sarah was here, I would come in and sign off on the minute. She had a spot where I would sign. And so I just
Oh.
thought, apparently we don't do that
I didn't know that
anymore.
either.
I didn't know
That's
that,
So
but we can.
I'm
Sounds
okay.
like you want to sign it.
No, but, she would say, hey, I'm available this week if you want to come in and sign. And I don't need to sign anything, but now that I know that you would like for me to just
Review it.
and respond.
I mean, that's what she told me. I'm new.
Okay.
But she said to send it, and then you will reply with any questions or concerns or changes, and then I would send it out. But honestly, I do the minutes the next day, is on Thursday. So they're pretty much done. I'll look at them again on Monday just because it's a lot. And then I wait because I just assume we wait closer to the
You
next
don't need to rush
meeting.
for Jackie, but if you want for.
But I'm happy to send them right out to you on that following Monday. And then once you say, hey, these look good, or if you don't say anything, then a few days later, I'll just send it out to the board.
Okay, sounds great.
I'm happy to do that.
I love that plan. Let's
Yeah,
go with
because
that.
I like it fresh in my mind too.
Yeah,
And so that's why I try to do the minutes the next day.
My goal is to be as articulate as Rick. He reads, I'll read these minutes from the last meeting, and it's so far,
Yeah, you're
3
like,
weeks
we
for,
talked about that?
it's just
I know
like,
Krishna and I both, it's the next day that we take our notes and do whatever,
Sure.
because I don't want it to go to next week, because
I'm on
I
it.
don't remember.
Yeah. Look at
And is
this.
this a good reminder, because you're sending those to the Wesleyan Tech email?
I send them to both of your emails. So the
Any
one that I
email
have is the
she has for
first-
everybody.
So I send 2 to Jackie, 2 to Rick, 2 to
Okay.
Ryan, 2 to Robbie, 2 to Jay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what Sarah had me do. So
That's
I
fine.
send it
Yeah,
That's
double.
fine.
Yes.
If you don't want it double,
No,
please.
that's
I just wanted
because I have
Okay.
too many that, please continue to do that.
and I send the reminders about the board meeting to double too.
Yes.
Yes, that's fine.
Hoping that everybody will say, yes, I'm coming, so I know how many packets to.
yeah, and that's something I'm really bad at. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot to tell her.
I just sent her a text, but she said, are you coming in on?
I'm like, yeah, I have Darcy text.
We text JR.
We text him. I just have that one time where I think you
Never.
forgot to come and we
Never
called
know.
you.
I'm usually gonna be here. If I'm not coming, I'll just let you know.
Okay, but
But
you'll
no,
always.
and you can.
And I will respond on the finances if I have a question.
Okay, perfect. So I just give you guys a couple days and then I'm like, all right, I get antsy. I'm like, this has got to go out to the board so that's.
I like it.
So,
Yeah, well, thank you for clarifying that for me.
you're
Appreciate
welcome.
it. I will.
And I'm happy to have you come in and sign something.
Oh, and I'm fine if I don't.
So by any
We'll let you sign whatever you want.
Yeah, we've got lots of
Well,
stuff to sign.
maybe
Autographs from
Tuesday
Stacy.
night for open house.
There you go.
House.
Wear your parka.
It's gonna get
It's
really
pretty
cold
cold.
in here.
Okay.
Anything else?
Oh, I can't come to that.
What trouble?
We are moving on.
I would make a motion to adjourn,
and I'll second.
7:12.
All in favor?
Aye.
Look at that.
I have have a training that goes until 5, and then I started ukulele lessons on Tuesday night.
Where?
So,
You're doing it with Jen?
yeah.
Yeah.
Here?
The late, yeah, every Tuesday night.
Oh my goodness.
Jen,
Thank you for coming.
Class.